I feel like we could have done a lot more, especially with how COVID kind of slowed down some of the things that we had put down to do. I do agree, like at the beginning when we had the first meeting, like it was amazing and whatnot. And then when we kind of called people back to do the work plan, there was interest in terms of that happening. But then the show up was like maybe just 4 people. And yeah, though we did proceed with that, we proceeded and drafted stuff that needed to be done. And then I think from there, even we kind of like came up with a plan in terms of how we'll go about what packages we need to do, what we need to buy. But I feel like largely as the different members of the collective, there has been a bit of a fallback. And I think this is because of how we have a high note to say, okay, autonomy is back. And then after a few things happen, and then again it goes quiet. And then also, like maybe Akende has mentioned, people also having different forums that they're in and not really being interested to participate in this one. And then also we did realize that the collective was being driven more by LBQ, by sex workers, and also a few young women. And I think that was the reason why we had sent out that one to Chipasha also, to try and find out if Chipasha would be interested, because we felt like if we continue like this, it would mean that we're only moving into one direction. And for me, that I felt like it wasn't completing the entire collective. And then for some that we really wanted on board and to really participate in most of our activities, felt like they didn't want to associate with LBQ. I think there were 2 people from the people living with HIV that mentioned that they do not want to be part of a collective that is dealing with LBQ persons. And for us, that was like a really big issue, because then we thought, how do we still... No problem. How do we still move ahead and still have like a lot of different collective members? And then also trying to build the collective in another town became a bit challenging, because then the ones that were in touch with had now moved to Lusaka. So then what does that mean for us? If we have people that are in Livingstone, they're now in Lusaka, what happens? So again, we started over with the same concept, asking people in Livingstone, do you want to be part of the movement? How do we move ahead with the collective? Are there people from the different constituencies that we can get in touch with? And then, yeah, but individually as a person, I feel lost in the movement, I think, because everyone has a different agenda, and how to put things together for me now kind of like throws me off.